A respected Danish analyst calls for $3,000 gold. And what about Zimbabwe? Have you heard the big news? The country of Zimbabwe is going to the gold standard. And I thought, who better to talk to than someone who was born and raised in Zimbabwe? Coin Shop Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
Oh, wow, Ron. I was born in Zimbabwe now. That's a long way from Massachusetts, I guess, huh?
What are you talking about, Chris?
You said I was born in Zimbabwe.
Well, all those stories you tell me about growing up in Zimbabwe?
Oh, here we go. We start this week off real good.
Uh, well,
What's going on there, Ronnie?
you mean
Where's the
it's
red
all
shirt, Ron?
you mean it's all been nothing but a big pack of lies, Chris?
That's right. Let's not over.
So, all right. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about Zimbabwe, though, because they are talking about and making moves to back their currency with gold because they've had runaway inflation. They don't want to use the US dollar. They have decided to back their currency with gold. Any thoughts on that, Chris? I find it very fascinating.
Ron, I think Lynette Zane just put a video out too about that, and they say it's not going to work. Um, you know they're using their currency but they don't even trust their own currency still, even though it's backed by gold. So no, I don't think Zimbabwe has been one of the countries been a nothing but a prom burger in my book. I don't know what's going to say to them there. I really don't.
Well,
I
see,
think they.
I
My
think
my
you're wrong.
opinion.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, because they said they're going to back their currency with gold, and that it's going to be very transparent. It's going to be audited. It's going to be, everything's going that you'll know that if you have one of their units of currency, that it's backed by, according to them, a verifiable amount of gold.
Well, we will see if it works, but I believe there's a video out there with Lynette Zane, and she just touched on that, and she said it's not going to, they're having problems already with it.
Well, I don't think they've actually started it yet.
Well,
I don't agree with Lynette Zhang. I love Lynette Zhang, but that doesn't mean I always have to agree with her. I don't agree with you or Lynette Zhang. Boy, who do I agree with?
oh my God, here we go again.
Nobody likes me. Well, let's move on to the next subject. Let's see if we can find something we do agree on, Coin Shop
Okay.
Chris. How about you tell us about what's going on at the coin shop, right? You've got the pulse. Now we have a viewer here. We have a basement dweller joining us right now. What are you seeing in the coin shop?
Ron, this week's been a very tough week. People are coming in. They're not selling a hell of a lot, Ron, but they're selling little by little by little. And I'm seeing grown people, grown guys, grown women just crying they have to sell their silver. It's mostly silver they're selling right now that I'm seeing. And just to put food on the table, Ron. Just to
Wow.
put food on the table. I had a guy come in, probably about 80, 85, really hold on to silver most of his life, he said. And he says this is the first time he ever had to sell anything.
Oh
He's
my
got no cash
gosh.
in the bank. And he sold about 15 ounces to us, and he was just, almost in tears.
So you're telling me you're
Um,
seeing people get very emotional over the fact that they have to sell some of their precious metals just to make ends meet, it sounds like.
just to make ends meet, to pay light bill, to put food on the table. Yeah, it's getting very tough out there. And I don't think a lot of people realize what the heck what's coming.
Okay.
And that's why I'm trying to warn everybody, if you can stack some cash right now, stack some cash. We are going to need cash for the first part of this. Then
Yeah.
I think we're going to be into silver and gold.
Yeah.
But cash is getting worthless, Ron. I mean, we can go spin back to 1964. I looked this up just yesterday, Ron, for your viewers here. A silver quarter, you could buy a loaf of bread for 21 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today, that silver quarter, silver value is $4.16, maybe a little bit more because we're over 23 now in ounce. But you can
Mm-hmm.
still buy a loaf of bread with that same silver quarter that you could get back in 1964 and get change back. Yeah, you would have to go to a physical coin shop and convert it back into fiat. But really, you can take that $4.16 and still get a loaf of bread and get change back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've proven beyond any reasonable doubt that silver keeps up with the price of inflation or the rate of inflation. Are you serious? You really didn't grow up in Zimbabwe?
No, I never did, sir.
Wow. Hey, let's talk about something exciting with
Okay.
silver and gold. That last week, all right, let's just you and I, right? I mean, this has been a hard year to be invested in silver and gold and the precious metal mining stocks. Would you agree with that, Chris?
Yes, and I will also say this is a converting opportunity now. Ron, let's back up to 1929. Most people were not alive in 1929. Maybe you were, because I'm seeing a little bit of gray hair in that hair of yours. But anyways, to be all honest with you, the precious mining stocks did very, very well in 1929. And this is a time that nobody's looking at. Everybody's looking at these tech stocks, the big bubble stocks. While some of this money, look, Jeff Bezos just sold $2 billion worth of Amazon stock. What does he know? What does Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook know? He sold stocks. Why are all these big tech companies, CEOs or ex-CEOs selling their stocks?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, they must know.
It's going to be part of your viewers, Ron, that have, maybe okay income, very little income. They're going to be left holding the bags, Ron. And these people are going to get richer and richer. Then that money will go into the mining stocks. It's
Yeah,
coming. When? I don't know.
Well, that's the good news, according to CoinShop. Chris, thank you for that. And I heard Peter Carruth and was talking with Andrew McGuire earlier today, that show Live from the Vault. And they said something that really resonated with me about silver. They said, when silver hits 50 or silver hits $100 per ounce, people are going to be kicking themselves that they didn't buy more now. But let me get back to my original train of thought that I wanted to reiterate with you. The good news, Chris. Do you want some good news for silver
Always
and
looking for
gold
good
price?
news, sir.
Are you ready for some good news? Okay.
Absolutely.
So this year's been tough for precious metals investors, and I appreciate what you talked about with the depression and the stocks. That's a key thing for people that are invested in precious metal mining stocks to know. However, this year, we got this great GDP number, great jobs number, which we all know was a bunch of mucky, and we also got the Fed that came out this year so far and was very hawkish. So it's been a very difficult environment, a little bit of a stormy seas for gold and silver. Those were factors that would push down the price of silver and gold. And then just this past week, we got high inflation numbers, inflation running hotter than expected, which also should have pushed down silver and gold. But you want the good news, Chris? It
Go
didn't,
ahead.
right? Huh? It didn't. It didn't. The high inflate on Friday, gold and silver were up, right? And we got this big high PPI number. I'm telling you, we in December we had a major switch in the tide or in the winds, right? That headwind that was pushing against silver and gold had subsided. I won't say we had a tailwind yet. However, in the face of what should have been a lot of headwinds this year, darn it, silver and gold have been strong. And I truly believe in my heart they've changed the corner. I think that we're going to have $3,000 gold. And I think that $3,000 gold, when we get to a reasonable silver to gold ratio of about 60 to 1, is going to make us have our $50 silver.
Well, Ron, you had an interview with the great Andy Sheckman the other day, and you guys did a marvelous job. And, I've said this before. If he said this before, we're in the eye of the hurricane now. People forgot what happened last March when silver eagles were $55 an ounce. We've been in that eye of a hurricane. When is that second? How much longer are we going to be in this eye? Well, we got the reverse repo coming up March 11th, Ron. I just bought a roll, and I won't say what company it was from, of 2-ounce kangaroos from Australia there. I got them for 508 a roll. There's 20 ounces, Ron. I looked today, silver was up. It jumped to 534. I'm glad I got them when I did. I didn't really have the cash for it, but I pulled the plug. I said, this is the deal. This time we got to take advantage of these dips. And people can call me a silver pump all they want. That's fine. They can call me any name in the book. That's fine too, Ron.
My name's Ron and I'm a silver pumper. Hey, I want to real quickly thank our sponsors, mining company sponsors, First Mining Gold. You can learn more about that company at firstmininggold.com. They have 13 million ounces of gold tucked away nicely in the ground in Canada, a very favorable jurisdiction. Fortuna Silver is actually more of a gold mining company now. They have a gold mine in Argentina, Burkina Faso, and the Ivory Coast, and they have silver mines in Mexico and Peru. You can learn more about Fortuna Silver at fortunasilver.com.
Absolutely. So where do we go next, Ron?
Let's talk about, I want to talk about $3,000 gold and $60 silver one more time before we're done. But you did some comparison shopping this week, didn't you, Chris? We always can rely on you to be out there shopping around, looking at the deals. What did you go looking for this week?
Well, Ron, we tried to mix things up in the basement, and I gotta give a shout out to your sponsor, Pimbacks, once again. Pimbacks wins it again. This week we compared 10-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bars. At max was $311.30. Now this is ACH for all these companies, so we're comparing apples to apples.
Okay, and at the same time on the same day, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
J.M. Bowen was $287 for that same 10-ounce bar, a little cheaper. BGASC was $279. Mighty Metals, I was kind of shocked at their prices. They're normally one of the highest ones out there on, but they were comparable at $278.90. SD Bowling came in at $275.83. And Pimbacks wins it out again, Ron, for $271.93. So you take at max price and you take Pimbacks price, you divide those, you minus that price, you're going to be saving $39.37, Ron.
Wow. So you not only get a 10-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bar, which, by the way, I love. I was infatuated with them about 6 years ago. They are really nice, and they are 4 9s. But not only, if you decide to get your exact same 10-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bar from Pimbacks, not only do you get that same bar, but on top of that, you can get yourself at least 1 more ounce of silver, probably a vast selection because you're saving, I think you said $39. Is that right, Chris?
$39, I believe you can get we talked about the kookaburras about a week ago or so, Ron, the 2024 kookaburras. I believe you can still get one and still have money left, and maybe you can get a cheeseburger from Mickey D's or something. Really, why would we want to shop anywhere else when we're comparing prices like this? I've always urged your viewers, Ron, to shop around. Look at your coin shops. Look at online. It takes only a few minutes to look around. And really, time after time, week after week, Pimbacks is one of the best prices out there, Ron. And
Chris.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Brian. Yes.
Chris. And it's not just the prices that are the best. They've got great selection and service, and it's a company that you can trust. But I agree with you. I encourage people, you need to discover it for yourself. Throw them into the mix next time you're out there shopping for online bullion.
Absolutely. I just want to thank Mike and Brian again. They're outstanding.
They are. They're good people. And why not get more metal for your money? I think Pimbacks is best, and you will too. They check all the boxes. Do you like how I do that, where I make the check by the box behind me that says Pimbacks, Chris?
I'm sure your viewers love that, Ron.
All right. So, ole. So you're telling me you weren't born in Zimbabwe. Did you grow up in Denmark, Coin Shop Chris?
Nope. Nope.
New Hampshire?
New Hampshire, yes. New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts.
Oh, wow. You did the whole Northeast tour. Well, anyway, if you had grown up in Denmark, you would have known of a guy named Ole Henson. He's a famous Danish, I guess you would say, respected commodity strategist with that massive Danish bank, Saxo Bank. He's continually calling for $3,000 gold. Reiterate this to all the silver investors out there as well. We love gold, right? We'll take $3,000 gold, right, Chris? That's great. What do you think happens to silver when gold goes to Chris? What do you think? Right? If you're a little Danish boy and gold goes to $3,000, what do you think happens to silver?
Well, we're seeing that $2,000 now, a little over 2,000. We're seeing that what 23. Who knows, Ron? But I really could see 60 plus silver. I mean, maybe even more. I mean, we need to get this conversion rate down first. I mean, silver comes out of the ground 7-1, and we're seeing, silver is suppressed, gold suppressed, Ron. I mean, the COMEX are a bunch of clown crooks. The LBMA is a bunch of clown crooks. China's probably doing something right for us. Why is Shanghai $3 more for silver than the rest of the world? Why?
Because they actually trade physical metal. Go figure, right? Yeah, right.
And we trade a bunch of useless paper.
Unicorn fart dust silver, make believe, right?
Yeah.
There's only 42 million. Well, that was last Friday, but as of last Friday, there were only 42 million ounces of silver in the COMEX registered inventory. You could buy that for less than $1 billion. It would take less than $1 billion to completely drain all the inventory at the COMEX. Chris, do you have $1 billion?
That's a drop in the bucket for the federal government, Ron, right?
Yeah, they spend that. They probably spent that during the time that you and I were here recording this video. And by the way, Chris, you may not have realized this, but I think it's important that we thank the person joining us today, the viewer, the basement dweller. We appreciate you being here. We want you to come back. Subscribing is absolutely free. We're still having the New Year's special on that one, so press that subscribe button. We put out new content every day. It's always about silver, gold, and always a lot of fun and entertaining.
And leave us a comment, please. We like to know what everybody's thinking.
Yeah. Give Coin Shop, if you want to donate a little extra couple dollars to Coin Shop Chris, don't forget he does this from the kindness of his heart. I'll put a link to his PayPal in the description of this video.
Thank you.
One up that one, Chris. Is there anything you can you up that one?
No, Ron, I'm not going to put your link in there. That's for sure.
Well, now that we've begged for money and subscribers, how about we give some people some value? Everyone is on the edge of their seat. It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's the Coin Shop Chris 30-day numbers.
30-day numbers, or the numbers were not too bad just past 30 days, Ron. Silver was up 38 cents. Or up 1.5%. Gold was down, actually, $6.10 an ounce, or down 0.30%. Platinum come roaring back, Ron. Remember, we were down like $65 last week. But, it made a comeback. We're up $9.10, or up 1.01%. Oil, I've been hopping on the oil, Ron, for it since around Christmas time, if not before. Oil is up $6.79 a barrel, or up 9.38%. And they want to say inflation's only at what 3.2%, 3.8%. I call a bunch of hogwash on the Fed. You might have a screwdriver for Jerome Powell. He might have that screwdriver as a tool, Ron, but he's got no screws to use it with.
Chris, we almost forgot. Thank you for the 30-day numbers. We almost forgot what you just brought up is the most fertile soil in the history of the universe for the silver price and the gold price. I just want to throw in, imagine if in a month from now we're talking on the 30-day numbers and you're saying, I mean, oil went up 10%. Why can't gold go up 10%? Why can't silver go up 20%? But that's not what I want to share with you, Chris. What I want to talk about briefly is stagflation, because that's what you just described. You just talked about oil, right, being up almost 10% over the last 30 days, right, in an economy that's slowing, because we got bad retail sales numbers last week. We got bad industrial production numbers last week. We even got bad housing numbers last week, but we also got high inflation numbers. And we got the CoinShop Chris 30-day numbers telling us that oil, right, is up, showing more. So we've got inflation with a slowing economy. What does that equal, Chris?
Big problems, Ron. Big problems.
Big crumbs?
No, big problems.
Oh, big problems. Yeah, stagflation. Stagflation. Yep. That's a stagnant economy, slowing economy with inflation. They even said it on CNBC. I heard him say it, I don't know, Thursday or Friday morning. And then I saw Yahoo Finance. I turned it on for a few minutes in the morning when I was waiting to hear what the numbers were. Yeah. No, I mean, it's stagflation. Stagflation is what drove silver from $1.50 all the way to $50 in 1980. And on top of that, everything now is in much worse shape than it was in the 70s. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, we're going to be sitting down here and we're going to be talking about silver at numbers that we can't even imagine.
You know, it's scary, Ron. And just go back to what we talked about at the beginning, Ron. I see, there's a lot of hardship, and I even have trouble looking, talking about this because people's faces are so like blue down in the dumps. And, it's going to get more and more trouble out there. And it's sad. It's sad people have to use their real money to put food on the table. It really is.
It is. Yeah. And, all joking aside, I was going to say you have Smurfs coming in to see you at the coin shop, but I said it. But on a serious note, it is sad.
And Andy made a good point is people got into silver and gold for the wrong reasons, thinking silver and gold, you're going to get rich and then get wealthy. Well, he made a brilliant point. He said it is wealth, and that is he's 110% right. I couldn't agree with him more. He's just right.
This, and you gave me this 1 ounce silver round, right? Right. All the energy that went into producing this is still in it, right? I mean, it's a value battery. All the energy that went into that is still in it. Whether that energy, this silver that I'm holding here could have been mined 800 years ago, doesn't matter. All that energy is still being held within this. It is wealth. It's the opposite of debt, right? If I hold this, I hold value. I hold something that I can use in the future and feel confident, whether the future means a day from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, or 100 years from now, that it's going to have its value, right? Andy's face really lit up. I sense, and I didn't confirm this with him, but I said something that I think really resonated with him. And I said, and you and I have talked about this, I said, I always tell people only use the money to buy silver that you think you're never going to need again. I look at it as generational wealth. And when I said that term, generational wealth, something that I envision children, grandchildren, who knows how long, hopefully a long time, having it and it helping to continue, right, to provide safety and security.
And I will need to make this one point on too. First I'd like to say silver to gold ratio this week was 86.20. So it's come down a little bit, but only convert, like you said, Ron, what you can afford to do. And we got this young girl that comes in. She's a waitress. She works in one of the higher end restaurants with the wealthy people, Ron. And she says business is slowing. Even the wealthy are not out there spending on.
Yeah.
They're saving.
Yeah.
And she's still coming in when she can, maybe 1 or 2 days less a week, but she's still coming in and converts to 1 ounce of silver. And her dad's been on her butt. Pay yourself first. So
Yeah.
that means
Right.
if that means you're gonna cut out your Starbucks, if that means you're gonna cut out going out to eat, if that means you're gonna cut out a service on your cable bill, HBO, do it, people, because that extra $12, $15 a month you're paying for these extra services might just save your life, really. Gain that extra silver in the house now.
Coin Shop Chris, thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of myself and our all-important viewer. Thank you, thank you. I think what we determined was this: like, we all, doesn't matter how old we all are faced with this predicament in life, right? We're living. We can hold on to cash, right? We can actually spend more money than we make. We can acquire debt, or the third choice is this: silver. Right. And we know this is wealth. Like you so eloquently said, Coin Shop Chris, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your time and information. And we really hope that we'll see you again next week.
I'll be here. I don't know if I'll be all joyful and with bells on, Ron, but I'll be here.
I'm still waiting to see you joyful and with bells on.
Well, when the coin shop owner tells me I can get my face on camera, I will.
Okay. We love you, buddy. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Love you too, Ron. See you next week. Bye-bye.